Hello, everyone. Welcome to Breakfast All Day. It's Christy and Alonso, and it's Friday again, which means there's just things happening, and we need to talk about it.
So much happening. The main thing being that the Batman is finally out there in the world. It made $22 million on Thursday night in its first showings. So had a lot of folks here saying that they couldn't wait to go see it. If you went and saw it, let us know how you liked it. Katie Walsh was here with me earlier this week to do a review of the Batman. I will link to that below in case you missed it. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, the audio of our Batman discussion will be there today for your enjoyment as you run errands or drive around in your car and sit in traffic. We'll make you feel calm talking about
It's
the
a
Batman.
non-spoiler review, right?
It is a non-spoiler review. So at some point we will do a spoiler review, but this is good for you for now as you head into it. So there is that. But if you are going to go see the Batman in certain locations, you might be paying more for your ticket.
I
Yes,
heard about this.
AMC is trying out a thing where they're going to charge people, at least here in Los Angeles, an extra $1.50 for their Batman tickets. They're dipping a toe into like incremental price changes, which occur already all the time anyway. Like if you see something at, a 10:30 a.m. matinee, it's cheaper than a Saturday night.
Right, but apparently, like this is sort of the European model where certain movies will cost more or less depending. I think really part of the reason they're doing this is because there's not that much else coming out this month. Like I think most of the other studios were like, "Oh, we're not getting in the way of that," and so like no one's really trying to counter program Batman in a significant way. They're just sort of like leaving a wide berth, and so yeah, I can sort of see why the struggling theater chains after the couple of years they've already had are just like, all right, let's try this.
Sure. Plus, if you're psyched to go see Batman, I don't think $1.50 is going to make a big difference as to whether you go or not. You're going to go.
And also, I don't know if you heard about this, podcaster B. Peterson talked about how when they went to see the Batman, that they just put an intermission in the middle of it. Like after a certain scene, this like 5-minute clock appeared on the screen, and they started playing like the music from The Dark Knight Rises, and it was like, oh, okay, well, I guess we're going to go visit the snack bar and hit the bathroom in the middle of this 3-hour movie. Then.
I really want to know if when you guys go see it, let us know if there's an intermission, because we did not get an intermission in our press screening.
News to me. I welcome the return of the intermission, but this is news to me.
That's really interesting. Wow. Okay. This weekend is the Spirit Awards. This Sunday is the Spirit Awards. They're usually the day before the Oscars, but now they are on March 6th. Your best feature nominees are Come On, Kiara, Zola, The Lost Daughter, and The Novice, and 4 of the 5 best director nominees are women.
Yes.
What do you think about the Spirit Award nominees?
I'm very happy with them for the most part. I think there's some really great stuff in there. Certainly some ones I wish that the Oscars had bothered to pay attention to. I mean, the best actor category, I mean, you've got Udo Kier for Swan Song, which is absolutely one of my favorite films of the year, and that's also for screenplay, which I'm thrilled about. Simon Rex for Red Rocket, a performance that I think is one of the best of the year, and Clifton Collins for Jockey. Like just those 3 alone, I feel like you could. A case could be made. You could knock some of the Oscar nominees out and put those guys in, and it would be, equally valid. But yeah, I think always the Spirit Awards are interesting. They always dig up stuff that you haven't heard of, or that maybe have only played festivals or just had like the tiniest of releases, so there are some titles on there, like Catch the Fair One that only just recently, started hitting theaters, but that are terrific and worth checking out. So, hang on to those nominations, and like it may be a thing of like look for these movies to be opening, look for these movies to hit streaming. The ones you don't know about, they may well be worth your time.
Indeed. And then as we talked about a couple days ago, if you want to go watch the Spirit Awards on a big screen, a bunch of AMC theaters are showing them, and you can go watch along and have popcorn. I feel like you're actually at the movies. So we have some Oscar news, always Oscar news as we head into the important night. The hashtag Oscars fan favorite and hashtags Oscars cheer moment voting has ended.
Somebody, a friend of mine on Twitter said, this is your last day to vote for bad luck banging or loony porn. So, I think this is, I'll tell you, if they wind up sticking to their guns about not putting, editing and score and all those other categories in the main show, but then also devoting real estate to this thing, I think that's a big mistake. But there is apparently a lot of inner turmoil at the Academy, like on the board and stuff, about getting those categories put back into the show. So we'll see how it plays out.
I was going to mention that Scott Feinberg and the Hollywood Reporter had a really big story with a bunch of anonymous sources, people who are Academy members from various branches, saying that like ABC threatened to cancel the Oscars if the Academy didn't cut 12 categories. I don't know if you can hear my dog. My dog is like hocking up water in the background. I'm sorry about that. If you can hear it, Baxter is back from his walk. So the ABC was going to cancel the Oscars. Like the Oscars just won't happen because ABC wants them to be shorter. It's craziness.
Yeah, well, this is when you get into the who's the tail and who's the dog,
Yes.
you know, like who's in charge here.
Anyway, so that is all happening. So we'll have to see how that plays out if they do indeed put those categories back in. Also, this Sunday, Winning Time begins on HBO. This is the Adam McKay series about the 1980s Showtime Lakers. I have seen the first few episodes of it. They gave a bunch of them out to press beforehand. And I grew up in LA in the 80s. I grew up going to Lakers games as a kid. My dad's insurance company had tickets to like everything at the Forum. So I went to a million games and saw Magic and Kareem and had no idea how great I had it. Plus things like the Circus and Smurfs on Ice. And a million concerts like Duran Duran, Prince, Hall & Oates, Lionel Richie, Erasure, Depeche Mode. Anyway.
Smurfs on Ice though, come on.
Right, Smurfs on Ice. You can't just see anywhere. You got to see it at the fabulous Forum. So the first one is Adam McKay directed the pilot. It's very Adam McKay. It's very like walking and talking and breaking the fourth wall. And John C. Reilly as Jerry Buss is like breaking down how much money he needs to buy the Lakers. And like the numbers appear next to him on the screen. And it's essentially like Margot Robbie in The Tub and The Big Short. So
the closing credits of the other guys.
Yeah. If you are a fan of Adam McKay's style, there's a lot of it in that first episode to its detriment. Like there's just too much going on and it's distracting, but eventually it settles down and it's a great cast. And Adam Brody is Pat Riley.
Well, this is the show that drove a wedge between McKay and Will Ferrell. So I hope it was worth it.
John C. Reilly is very good in it. It's a really good supporting cast. So so that is out there for your enjoyment. Bendergate is over. Our long national nightmare. John DiMaggio will indeed return to Futurama to voice the robot Bender, and that it's a very exciting thing. Can't imagine doing the show without him. Morris Day says that Prince's estate will not let him perform as Morris Day and the Time anymore.
I don't even get how that works, but okay.
It's weird. Yeah. I mean, and Prince's estate says that like, that's not entirely accurate, but you know, Morris Day and Prince, like, that was one of the many Prince offshoots, that band in the early 80s. And, a crucial part of the movie Purple Rain, of course.
Of course, the Paisley Park Empire.
Right. And so hopefully he'll be able to perform Jungle Love once again.
Oh.
Yes, it's so good. Also, a very sad piece of news. The Viper Room is being torn down to make way for some totally generic 12-story multi-use building of like retail on the bottom and residential on top.
That is a Hallmark movie waiting to happen. That sucks. But that is the nature of the beast. Certainly when it comes to properties on Sunset Boulevard, it's the same thing that they did to Amoeba Records, So did you ever go to the Viper Room?
Oh, honey. I had my 40th birthday party at the Viper Room.
Oh, that's right.
You guys couldn't make it, but I had back in a different time in my life. I had this ridiculous bacchanal drunk fest, like debauched evening with like tequila shots. We rented out big sections of the Viper Room, including Johnny Depp's lap dance lair. He had this whole separate room with like straps on the ceiling and poles, and it had double pane glass. So he could like sit in there and get a lap dance and then like look out at whatever band was playing.
Well, going on 30 years ago, I dated a guy who worked for Universal Music, and I got to go to Rob Zombie's birthday party in the VIP room at the Viper Room. That I felt very, very connected.
That is awesome. Anyway, so that is a bummer, of course. Johnny Depp owned it, and it has a place in 90s Pussy Posse lore.
And it's where River Phoenix died.
Yes. Very sad. So that is that. And then real fast, we're going to talk about Pam and Tommy on our Patreon later on. But Pamela Anderson will have the last laugh because she's going to put out a documentary of her own telling her side of the story.
Great. I welcome that. Like we'll be talking also about the dropout, which is what happens when you make a dramatized version after the doc has already come out. But I love a doc that follows a dramatized version.
Right. It sort of gives it more cred, right? Like here's
I
the
think
real
so.
story.
Yeah,
Anyway, so
I mean,
we'll follow that.
for sure. Yeah, looking forward to it. All right, awesome. Well, listen, everybody, thanks for watching. As always, subscribe, like this video, follow us at BeFast All Day on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and do check out our Patreon page at patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. You get videos like this with no commercial interruption. You get our TV recaps of Pam and Tommy, of The Dropout, The Gilded Age, lots more other stuff, and plenty of other exclusive, awesome things that only our subscribers can get their hands on. Patreon.com/BeFastAllDay. Thanks for watching. Have a good week. We'll see you next time. Bye.